What's good, everybody? It's Mahomes, and today, guys, I'm coming to you with a brand new video. This time, it's going to be another discussion video, guys, on the brand new Raizeol cards. So they had a new card announced, I believe it was yesterday. I have not done kind of a discussion video on it properly, so I decided to kind of give my 2 cents on it as well. So I'm going to go over the other Raizeol cards as well as the brand new one. And again, they're coming in that side set like DBCB. I think it's like Azumina, the worm cards, and Raizeol, and I will do like a worm thing as well because it works very well in Sword Soul, so I am very hyped for that. But again, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Let's start off with the video. So again, thrust it through the hole. Ayo. But starting off, the first card is going to be Thode Raizeol, so Thode like cathode, a level 4 fire thunder effect monster, 15 and 200. So it is a rekindling target. It's a thunder monster, so ideally it's not a hand effect. You're going to special summon with the first effect once per turn. You can only use second effect once per turn. Okay, cool. So each are once per turn. If you have a Raizeol monster on your field or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If summoned this way, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except rank 4 Xyz monsters. So that's what I like to say. I like to see more restrictions. If this card is normal special summon, you can add 1 light Pyro monster from your deck to your hand. So that's a little interesting. Luckily it does not activate. It just says if you control, you can special summon it. If there was like the semicolon, I think then you would have to reveal, but luckily it doesn't activate. It just summons, so that's good. And then on summon, you can add 1 light Pyro monster from your deck to your hand. I think Trude is a dark Pyro, so that's pretty good. But again, a light Pyro, which is really nice. It's a fire thunder as well, which is kind of weird, but teach your own, right? So I think this is a pretty good card. Probably like a 3-0, honestly. And then we also have this card, which is a level 4 fire thunder. It's node Raizeol. So we have Raizeol, and we have we have node and anode and cathode type of thing. So 14, 16, you want to special summon this card once per turn. You can only use the second effect of this card. Okay. If you have an XYZ monster on your field or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If summoned this way, you cannot special summon. Okay, so it seems like they're all extenders and they all lock you, which is really good. You can send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard, target 1 Raizeol monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense. Okay, so that's also really important, right? Because this is the ability where it says you can normal this, special summon this, and then you can kind of continue playing. So they all have extension, and they're all pretty good as well. This one adds the light Pyro, so it doesn't add this one, but it could add it, right? And then this is just like a generic extender as well. One thing I really like about these cards is the fact that you don't need a monster on your field. It could also be in your graveyard. So like your turn 2 and 3 plays, these cards are always live in that regard. And then send 1 to special them, which is also another good one. I'm not sure if I would play this one at 3. It's a nice extender, but you need to already kind of be established or have an XYZ monster in your graveyard. Whereas this one you can almost always summon. So I feel like I don't know if I would max out on this. It just depends on how many cards are in the archetype. And then we have Ice Raizeol, so a level 4 light Pyro. Okay, so this is the light Pyro that I believe this is the one that searches. So Thode can search Ice Raizeol, so you can only special summon monster turn. You special summon this card by sending 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard. If summoned this way, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except rank 4. So this one says one card from your hand or field to the graveyard, very similar to Diabellstar. This one says yeah, so none of them are. This one just says send 1 card. Okay, so it's send 1, and it's not a cost, I believe, so it'll technically trigger by card effect as well. So that's one thing to note. But so yeah, send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard, summon it, and then if this card's normal summon, you can special summon 1 Raizeol. Okay, so this is going to be the 3 of, because this is the normal summon of the deck. It doesn't trigger on special summon, which is really good. So it says, if this card's normal summon, you can special summon 1 Raizeol monster from your deck. So it's a light Pyro, so again, Bonfire will work with this very well. So you probably normal summon this, use this effect to special summon 1 of the other Raizeol monsters from your deck. So you can probably special summon, I don't think if summoned this way, you can special summon blah blah whatever. You probably summon out Thode Raizeol, because Thode will add a light Pyro monster. So okay, and then we'll just have to see like what other, because like, I mean, technically you can add this and send it to summon it again as like a little baby loop, but having a tour guide is really good. One thing I'm kind of worried about is this card isn't restrictive in this regard. So it says if this card don't special summon 1 Raizeol monster from your deck except itself, so you're not really restricted in that regard. So if you want to kind of what is it, the Bujinki Ahashima or something, you can go ahead and link it to that and summon Akashima, which is really good in that regard. So you know, there's plays to be made. And then we also have X Raizeol, which is another light Pyro. So technically, if you go normal that to get this, you can kind of search this. Blah blah 5 2k defense. You can only blah blah. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending 1 XYZ monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. If summoned this way, you can also. Okay, so this is probably the best extender in the deck because you can always have it no matter what. You can send an XYZ monster, and essentially, when you use this card, you can kind of summon out this card, so it works very well in that regard as well. I'm not sure if there's like a good XYZ monster to send, to be honest. Let me just double check, because I don't think there's a good XYZ monster to send off of it. Whatever, I just don't care. But yeah, to each your own, right? So I think there is one, I can't remember its name. none of the BA cards, right? Because, okay, whatever, to each your own, right? If you guys remember the thing, just comment down below. But yeah, so summon it, and then you get XYZ locked. So all of them were like, when they're special summoned, they're XYZ locked. If this is normal special summon and all face-up monsters you control are level 4, rank 4 monsters, you can add 1 fire thunder monster from your hand. So it's kind of like Sprite, where like Sprite was like linked to rank 2. Or sorry, level 2 rank 2. This one is just like a level 4 rank 4. Obviously if it was like link 4, it wouldn't really make any sense. But yeah, so you can add 1 fire thunder monster. So technically, in my opinion, what the loop would be is like you normal ice gets Thode. Thode can add a light pyro, so Thode can get X Raizeol. Then you send to summon out X Raizeol, and then you add a fire thunder, which is this one. And then because you have the XYZ monster in the graveyard, you can summon out Node Raizeol. So you have 4 monsters on the board just like that, right? So and then we all know like Tropics of Flesia plays very well around Nibiru as well. So like if you just overlay real quick, then you can have a Nibiru protection as well. So moving on to some more cards, we have Palmer Raizeol, so 1224. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned by shuffling 1 Raizeol monster from your hand or graveyard into the deck. Or Extract. This card's probably just like the one of, it's just a generic shuffle back. You cannot special summon monster, okay, so that's not really like the lock, that's only when it's on the field. So if you overlay, it's fine. Once return of this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, send 1 level 4 monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do this card gains. So the fact that it says you can send 1 level 4 monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do this card gains attack, is pretty worrisome, because that means that it can play kind of what's it called, like a complementary engine that kind of assists in the rank 4 engine. Like if you mill, banish, the one good thing is like it has to battle, so it's only good going second as opposed to a generic mill, so that's really good. But like I said, I can only see it as like a one of. The other cards really seem like 3 to 2 ofs in the deck, honestly, especially because they can all tutor each other out. And then this card's probably like a one of if you do end up playing it. But it looks like we have Xyz monsters as well. So we have Raizeol Duodrive, 25 2000, 2+ level 4s. Again, you can always get like 4 on board no matter what off of 1 normal summon. If this card's summoned, attach 1 Raizeol monster from your graveyard to this card as material. So a little interesting there, because it says if this card is special summoned, so if you have a way to like reborn it, I guess you can almost always have material on this card, so that's really nice. And then normally you'll have 2, but if you don't, you can have 3. So for each material attached to this card, monsters you control, so a little Chang Yang effect, which is pretty funny. I don't think you can get more than 4, but it's still pretty relevant because it's 2500 attack, right? So like 2900 monsters can attack, or 2700, so it's pretty good. And then during your main phase, attach 2 materials from the XYZ monsters, and if you do okay, so this is the main effect, right? It's the Laplacian, I think it is. When you summon, you detach and search. So detach 2 from your XYZ monster. So it looks like this is like a generic hand-in-hand thing to Sprite, where like the Sprite was Sprite says you can detach XYZ material from like an XYZ monster. This is very similar. You can detach 2 from XYZ monster, and it's not cost, so it's for effect. So if there is a card that triggers in the graveyard, like I said before, it works very well in this regard. And then if you do add 2 Raizeol cards, so you can probably, if you go even just 2 monsters can go into this detach, and you can search more, and I'm assuming that they have more cards as well. But moving on, this is a Raizeol Detonator, probably level 4 like Pyro. This is a level 4 Fire Thunder. Okay, so 325, really good stats for generic 4, 2+ level 4. You only use 1 effect. If this card's special summoned, attach 1 monster from your graveyard to this card as material. Like I said before, there are ways to special summon these cards out from the graveyard. They'll always have a material, which is really good. This one can attach any monster from the graveyard, whereas this card can attach any Raizeol card. Attach 1 monster from your graveyard. So like I said before, if you have one that sends off the extra deck, I think it's this guy who triggers off XYZ monster sending, it would be really nice to attach, and then you can kind of guarantee the loop and things of that nature. But then moving on as well, it has a quick effect. It says when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, detach 1 material, then target 1 card and field, destroy it. So that's really good. It's also not once per turn, so if you technically make this as your first play and you have extenders, you can technically make this as like a 3 or 4 mat Raizeol Detonator, and then you can use Detonator to, like, if they go like activate field spell, you can chain and pop. They go activate monster, chain and pop. So it's really good. It's just like a very aggressive Appaloosa in that regard. It doesn't negate, but still destroys, and like it's just a walking talking Ghost Ogre for like 15 effects. So really good. Not once per turn as well, so you can constantly be looping this. And if you can reborn this card, you get guaranteed 1 at least, right? And then if XYZ monster you control, restore valor card effect, detach 1 material from this card as well. So it's also a Zeus target, but I think these cards all lock you for the rest of the turn, right? Yeah, so that's a little unfortunate, but I mean it's pretty good because like it gives you protection. So like you can detach 1 material from this card, so it gives you protection for these cards and other ranked monsters as well, because if an XYZ monster you control, restore a battle card effect, not just like a Raizeol card. So really good in that regard. Then moving on, we have Raizeol plugin. So again, it looks like they're like Gundams or something. Try one Xyz monster or Raizeol monster in your graveyard or banishment, special summon it. Then you can attach one Raizeol. Okay, from your deck to your material, blah blah whatever. From your deck, also you can have to. Okay, so this seems like the one of, in my opinion. It seems like the card that you search off of. I just see a purple card as well, but it seems like the one that you would search off of. What's his name? Duodrive. So Duodrive can search this, and then this just says in your graveyard, special summon it. Then you can attach one Raizeol card. So like I said before, now that you have this card that reborns and attaches, these monsters will always have at least 2 material on them, because you'll target to reborn, they'll summon, then attach, and then this card will trigger to attach again. So like, it's very, very potent in that regard, especially because like technically if you open this and this, you have like 6 pops, which is, no, sorry, 5 pops, which is like absolutely crazy, right? So again, in my opinion, I think this is a one of. The fact that I can get from banishment is pretty interesting as well. But then moving on, guys, into the Raizeol Hole Thruster. Ayo. This card says target face-up monsters or cards your opponent controls up to the number of Raizeol XYZ monsters you control. Destroy them, then attach one Raizeol card from your graveyard to a rank 4 monster. You can banish a card from your graveyard immediately after this effect resolves. XYZ summon using monsters you control, including a Raizeol monster. Okay, so I'm not sure how I feel about this card, just because it's like at best like a 2 pop, so it's not that good. But I mean, just having it's really good, maybe a 1-up. The fact that you can banish this card from your graveyard immediately after this effect resolves XYZ summon is pretty good, because you can banish it during your opponent's turn. Yeah, you can banish it during your opponent's turn, like use these cards to rank up into like a Zeus, I guess, or into like, I guess Zeus is the best thing you can do. It's, I guess, basically like a Zeus deck, but yeah, it's a pretty good card nonetheless. I just wish that like they had a ways to like attach to recur cards, but I mean, to each your own, right? This card's still really good in my regard, in my opinion, but I would definitely say like Raizeol plugin is probably one of the main ones that you'd go for as like the extension piece. But yeah, so that's it for like the main initial wave of support that we had. And then they said like the final card we got is like Raizeol Cross. So again, DBCB, whatever that's called. So basically the field style is this: you can XYZ summon monsters with the same name as a card you control. So again, if you have like a Rafflesia, you can't make another Rafflesia. If you have a Detonator, you can't make another Detonator. You can target 2 Raizeol cards in your graveyard except Raizeol Cross, place them at the bottom of the deck in any order, then draw 1 card. So that's really good. That's really good, actually. What the hell? That's insane. It's kind of like HQ. In that regard, where you can like put any of these ones, so like even if you just play one, like you can constantly be looping these cards. It's really good. And then draw, so again, like a generic draw, which is really good. Any form of recursion is really good as well. And then it also says once return, when your opponent's monster effect resolves, detach 1 material from your XYZ monster, and if you do, negate that effect. So now you guys, okay, so you definitely search this card now. So off of Duodrive, you definitely search this plus the spell card, because essentially you have a monster negate, you have monster pops with this as well. So it's also funny because it's on resolution as well. So like the way on resolution works is like it doesn't respond to the chain. So if it's like chain link 1, chain link 2, it's more like it'll activate, you're like, yeah, that's fine, and then it'll activate resolve type of thing. I'm not too sure like the ruling on that, like if it starts a chain or not, but that's what I mean, right? So like if it's like if you dark ruler a monster and your opponent attempts to activate the monster effect, you'll be like, yeah, that's fine, and then it'll be negated upon resolution. So very similar to that regard as well. That is you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Interesting. So you can actually, oh no, it's a soft once per turn. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's still a really good card nonetheless. You definitely be searching that and this with them, and then you start extending through that. You draw cards, you have negate, and you have pop as well. So I'm really excited for this card, for this deck. You're not locked into Raizeol cards, you're locked into rank 4s. In my opinion, rank 4s are some of the most fun cards to play with in the game. And like I said before, I could see like a pretty nasty combo with the Akashima card, where like you summon normal this effect, summon this, go into this, link it to Akashima, and then you go Akashima into this, detach 2, search 2 cards, and then continue playing from there. So in my opinion, I think it's really good. I think this deck has all sorts of potential. I think it's gonna be a legit deck, honestly. It reminds me of kind of like the little toolbox, sprite, Teller Knight type of thing. But that's for my video, guys. If you guys like the video, go ahead and leave a like, comment what you guys want to see next, and subscribe. And like I always say, guys, my name's Hamza. Keep on shining, never gonna dreams. Peace.